Real Action is brought to you by Pertec, with 103 service and supply centres around Australia for all your hydraulic and industrial hose requirements.
G'day, welcome to Real Action. Michael Guest, the stowaway. Jack Nolan's with me. We've been loading up with live bait in close here. Beautiful water temperature. The sounder was just
lit up.
Proper
with
lit up. Yellowtail, slimy mackerel.
Yep.
You caught more than me. What is happening there?
I'm pretty good at catching bait, mate. Don't worry about that.
I think you might have got it out of bed a bit brighter than me this morning. It was an early start. We're going that way about, I don't know, 30 odd miles out near the continental shelf, and we're going to try and turn some of those live bait or use some jigs. We don't know yet. We've got liveys, we've got jigs. We'll see how it plays out one way or the other. But we're going to try and catch some big yellowtail kingfish, other demersal species, barcod, longfin perch. You never know in that part of the world, that's for sure. Okay, first drop. I'm going to put a live yellowtail on, and I think Jack's doing the same, pinning through the nose, just like that. Big three-way swivel and a big sinker and drop to the bottom. See what we can find. It was a long run out, about 30 odd miles. Yeah, see how we go. Quite nice conditions once we finally pulled up. So, oh, there's a bite, there's a bite, there's a bite. Eat it. Got him on. Oh, wow. Just saw a couple of fish on the sounder halfway down, and that has just been climbed on. Oh, wow. Come on, bud. Just got to try and keep that fish up above the bottom. And, oh, it's got some go about it. I just was feeling my line go down through my fingers, and then it just suddenly took off like a rocket. So I reckon this is a kingfish. Feels like it. Feels like a good fish. I think this is a 80-pound braid. It's what we call a PE10 jigging rod. Big 8500 size, high speed reel. So high speed means that it's got a taller gearing, so it can get that line back on with every turn of the reel like that much quicker, and that's what you want. And that 100-pound rod is doing its job, and I can relax into the battle and work my way back to the top, that's for sure. Got a bit of colour there now. It looks like a solid kingfish, that one, for sure. What a way to start off. It's a good fish, actually. Up around that metre mark. Real fat, solid fish, that one. Check him out. Woo! All right, let's take a wrap on this fella here. And they haven't got teeth, so you can give them that really good lock in the jaw once I can grab him. Got him there now. Woo! Yes. Yeah. That's not bad for first drop, I've got to tell you. Jacko's just on his rod there. He's winding up. He's going to come over and have a look at this one. Yeah, baby, that's a great fish. Well over that, absolutely over that metre mark. Such a beautiful one, that one. Oh.
You beat me to it, mate. You beat me
you were the gun bait catcher this morning.
Yeah, that's
right.
And
I noticed you pulled the biggest live yellowtail you could find out of the live bait tank, where I went slightly smaller. Yep. But I'll tell you what, our circle hook, I don't know if I can, I'll do a bit of a turn. Can you see there, that's that chemically sharpened, that big 10-0 circle, and it's pinned in the corner of the jaw. They're just the way to go in this deep water. J-hooks, it's so easy for them to pop out, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Once that circle's in there, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's locked in. So I got to tell you, first drop's pretty good. We had a quick drop with a jig.
Yep.
I might have caught the world's biggest dragon snapper or a Sergeant Baker. We weren't going to mention that, but this is the first drop with a live bait anyway. Good stuff. All right, I'll let this bloke go. He'll rock it back to the bottom. Off you go, buddy. Pinch your tail. All right, I might have a drink of water and I'll get Jack to get a live bait down there so we can't get to another one.
There's nothing better than a day on the water, but you want to make it home safely. So remember, one of the most important pieces of safety gear is your life jacket. 7 out of 10 boaters who have drowned in New South Wales waters were not wearing one. Life jackets come in a range of designs, so they won't get in the way whether you're chasing a big one or just taking in the sights. Whenever you're out on the water, make sure you and all the crew put one on. Marine Rescue New South Wales volunteers saving lives on the water.
Got him, Jacko.
It's like a good fish, mate.
And I've changed it up a bit. I've gone to a couple of 7/0 circle hooks.
Oh.
And, oh wow, we're gone over the edge there. We're in 180 metres of water.
You got a long way to go.
I've got a long way to go, I reckon. A cup of coffee would be just ideal right about now. I've got a fridge in the new boat, which is sensational,
Yeah.
but I think we've got to get the cappuccino machine somewhere in there, brother. But I've got something. So we thought we'd mix it up, and we marked a few little demersal fish, and there's all sorts of things live out here. Things like barcod and longfin perch, Jack.
Yep, all sorts. You get
John Dory.
Oh, bit of a mixed bag. You get the shallow kind of fish here and the deep water ones as well.
Got snapper out here as well. And big boats like this that can do the long ranges, you know, got big engines, 380 litres of fuel this boat holds. They're sort of becoming more and more popular, and if you don't own one yourself, a mate's got one, you see the boat ramps full on the weekends with the big twin cab 4-wheel drives lined up and putting the big girls out and going for a run. And it's a pretty good fish, this one too, so I'm just going to take my time. Could be a barcod maybe. It's got a bit going on anyway, Jack.
A lot of weight there, mate, yeah. I'm a bit hesitant to just wind mine in. I'm just kind of keeping it down there for a moment.
You had a bit of a hit on your live bait too, didn't you?
Yeah.
One of the great things about fishing in this depth of water, and it's pretty much what I love about fishing up at the Barrier Reef, is the mystery of it all. It's the range of species that you can catch. You know, so if you go throwing soft plastics in your local estuary system, you know, you're going to catch a flathead, you might get a mulloway or a mangrove jack or something, a few other species, but out here there's so many different things, and even at times you catch things and you can't identify them. Things like convict cod I've caught before, your gemfish, who knows, but so before it's a long way up. If you have a look at that reel now, on that big high-speed reel, I've got probably still got about 80 metres to go, I reckon, so just keep pumping and winding, and we'll see what we've got here shortly. Oh, you wouldn't believe it. It's a yellowtail kingfish, another king. And I wouldn't have picked that, no way in the world would I have picked that, except for the fact that that last little bit, as the kingies do, it fought all the way to the top. Whereas the barcod normally, I'll just pull my sinker up, pop that in the cup holder, straight in there like that. So this is a 2-hook rig. We had one little yellowtail die in the live bait tank, so it got turned into 2 baits, and that was right on the bottom, and I wouldn't have picked that to be a kingfish. You wouldn't believe that. So there you go. You just never know what's going to come up, and I didn't expect it, even though I'd already caught a kingy. I thought hard on the bottom in nearly 200 metres of water. It wasn't going to be one of these fellas. Wow.
Oh, again, mate, again. Well done.
2 from 2. Just have a look at, Jack, point out to everyone at home the depth of that fish.
That's an abnormally deep, solid kingfish, I would say, yeah.
Yeah, so that tells us, A, that I think it's a resident fish, this one here. You do get big, like schools of kingfish that run up and down the continental shelf and up and down the coast, I should say. And quite often they're skinny, and you see they've done a bit of hard work. This fella here looks like he hangs out here, lives in this deep, cool water.
He doesn't do much swimming, a lot of eating.
No, and what we are going to do, we've got the big esky with us today in the new boat set up here. It's fantastic. I've deleted the the passenger seat, and we've got a big 210 litre esky there with some ice.
Yep.
And I generally let 99% of my kings go. We're going to keep one today. I think I'll keep this one, and we'll bleed this and dispatch it and look after it, and it'll be the greatest sashimi ever.
Beautiful.
So we'll have that raw, and every bit of it will get taken. So we'll take this one. It's a perfect, nice, healthy, good sized fish. It's just under that metre mark, I reckon, this one.
Yep.
So there you go, and that's that part of that yellowtail. Just pop that hook out there, Jacko. So that's a little 7/0 hook. When I got the bite, I thought that's a good bite, and I thought it might be something else other than a
coming
king.
out.
No, it's locked in, and that's why you use them. Look at that, Jack can't even get that one out there. So awesome stuff. It's all great to take a fish, but you got to look after them. That fish's been bled, it's in the ice, and it'll cool that right down. It'll be beautiful to eat. But yeah, let's see if we can find another one.
Ready, mates?
Got in there, Jack.
That's I
I don't know what I've got there.
I'm still going down.
Oh, as soon as I hit the bottom, whack, 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 and see on the sound of there's such a good ramp there. And we're just talking, I reckon we're gonna, because there's hardly any current, once we can work out where these fish are, we're actually gonna put the electric motor down in 200 metres of water. How cool is it? Imagine trying to anchor here. Yeah. We'll drop the electric down and park on top of these fish. I reckon that's a king.
I reckon. Looks like one, mate.
Yeah, I was trying to get him up just on the smaller hooks there a little bit. If it's locked in, as soon as I hit the bottom. It's really important when you're fighting big fish like this. Is to not height, what we call high stick your rod. So your rod's got a perfect working parabolic curve there, and this is a pretty fast action rod. You can see the tip going, and then it powers up really quickly. I'll just keep tension on this fish through there, right through. So I've got good grip there. I can go a little bit further there to get more grip, wind down, but that's about as high as I want to pull. Drop the rod tip right down, just keep up with that fish when it starts to come towards me like that. And when that fish wants to have that big, powerful lunge back, don't pull back, because something's gonna give, you know. That's where a lot of people lose fish. They panic. The fish has got to have some sort of chance to pull back. That's why it's called fishing. It's not called catching. Oh, here he is, Jacko.
Righto, mates.
Woo! That's a nice fish.
Swing him round.
Solid one. Come on, bud. Jam it in there. Get your thumb in there. You got him. Come on, son. Hey, I'll grab the sinker. Woo! Back this way, son. There we go. Just goes to show you, that's a bit of bonito. That we call, oh, sorry, mate, on your shirt.
Right.
Bit of scutchy old bonito. So they've got a huge diet, haven't they?
They do.
They love squid. You'll get them on cut baits. Live baits are great, and there's a whole different sort of range of baits that will definitely work. And I think 100%, as I've already mentioned, those circle hooks are the go. And if you're dropping this deep water, I do like these 2-hook rigs. That's the other piece of bonito that I had. Got a big sinker on there with a loop. We've got some 60-pound, what we call 60-pound breakaway. So if we get hung up in the bottom, which the kings can quite often do, at least you've got a chance of breaking that. Yeah. And then you just slide it through the loop. You can change to a bigger sinker, a smaller sinker, whatever you want to do. And then when you're going home, take the sinkers off, and they're not up in the big rod holders bashing around. So we've got three-way swivel, 2 baits, 1 kingfish.
Perfect.
Well, 3 kingfish, I think. Is that 3 kingfish?
Are we going to do that, are we?
3. Well,
competition day?
Oh, if you were catching all the fish, we'd be doing it all day, big fella. There's not too many fish that can fight all the way from the bottom in this depth of water and all the way to the top. And I tell you, kingfish just shows you how well they actually go. This is a real healthy fish, this one too. Off you go, buddy. Go on, mate. There you go. Come on. Got a bathroom of troubles. How cool was that? That's amazing. That's the I think they're calling F-35A. They replaced the F-18 Hornets, and we're in the middle of nowhere here. Who knows where these guys have been? Probably been a Lord Howe Island, Norfolk. back across, guys, girls, I don't know who's flying the things, but that was just something else, and just a low run back across us here. I looked out here and went, what is that coming at us? And so hats off to everybody in the Defence Force. They do such a magnificent job, and thank you for that. That's made my day, right?
That was
pretty
so
cool.
good. Righto, mate.
Oh,
I got in there. I don't have much line left on my spool. I kept kind of feeding it out as we were drifting along to make sure that that bait was on the bottom.
you can see that drop come down over the side, and that darker red there means that's quite hard bottom there. So that's fairly hard, rocky bottom, and then it steps back down to 210. So from there to there, 210 to a height of about 180, that's a 30-metre drop. So to put that in perspective, to tell you what the structure's like, that's like 3 telegraph posts stacked on top of each other high. 30-metre drop. So that's some seriously good structure right there.
Oh, here he is. Finally, I've got the kingy. Just take my time here with him, lead him around, and grab him like that. Oh, how good's that? That's what we come out here for. Another nice kingfish there. Take a breath for a moment there. That was a bit of work. Got all that line back on the reel there.
They can grow to about 50 kilos, I think, over 50 kilos.
Yeah, yep.
I've never seen one that big. I did have a big one years and years ago on Real Action. We had a fish about 80 centimetres long, eaten by another kingfish.
I've seen that footage.
And that fish was
amazing.
Mega. I don't know how big that one was.
One of my all-time favourite fish. Just too good to catch once. We'll pop him back. Off you go, mate.
How cool is that? There's just a trickle of uphill current back into the wind. So we've put the electric motor down and we're actually sitting, it's really weird. The swell's coming from that way, breeze is coming this way, current's going that way. So you've got 3 different directions. And if you're fishing off an, not that you're gonna anchor in this depth anyway, but off an anchor rope, you'd be all over the place. But this is so cool that you can just pull up, have a fish here, we'll find another little bit of ground, move back up, and we can just move around and find where these fish are holding.
Got him on there, fellas.
That looks bigger than what I've got on.
Yeah, I think it might. A bit more of a bend in that rod.
This looks more like a kingfish.
Yeah, it's very kingfishy.
Absolutely. Aren't they amazing fish where you can catch them right up in those estuary systems, as we said before, but how they just love structure. So here the structure is a bit of a drop off near the continental shelf where we are, but in closer bridge pylons,
yep.
Around marker buoys, anywhere there's something where they can call home, they just love hanging out there, don't they? So,
that's it. They're definitely one of my favourite species of fish because you can catch them on anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hot water lures, soft plastics.
Spin chromies for them, poppers, fly.
Such a great sport fish.
Oh, absolutely. Sydney Harbour's got some cracking ones swimming around in there as well. The front of the headlands, wherever there's pressure points, so even where we're fishing here, you've got to try and find where that current's pushing into, and they love sitting with their head in the current, don't they?
That's it, structure and current. Oh, here he is, nice bit of colour there.
Mate, I've made it at the same time.
Swing him round. That's good timing. I'll grab him.
It's good timing.
I'm in.
Yeah!
Oh,
no.
Oh, one fell off.
Dropped off. So I've got the double on the Nana guy on the bait rig.
And I've got the,
well, I think mine's a prettier colour than yours.
I think so, they're not.
I think for everyone at home would probably go, I think I'd rather have what Jack's having than what Yesty's got, but...
I got my target species, and I guess you kind of got yours.
Yeah, well, I was hoping for a couple of demersals. These are demersals, so they hang around the bottom. Not quite what I wanted, but obviously that king's sitting above the Nana guy there. So
yes, on the live bait again.
We've got that electric motor parked here at the moment because we did mark some good fish. I can see them on the sounder, but I'd say they're mainly these fellas with the odd king swimming around above, and that pretty well proves it right there. It
does.
This depth of water, those fish, like, there's not a mark on that fish's tail.
Beautiful condition out.
Yeah, quite heavily built, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh, a bit of colour here. Doesn't look real red. Oh, yes! Oh, John Dory.
What have you done, Jack Nolan?
I've done it. That's what I can say. I've done it.
Wow.
How cool is that?
Look at this.
He's got his fins up nicely there,
Oh,
doesn't he?
amazing fish, John Dory. One of the better eating fish. There's the John Dory, Mirror Dory and Silver Dory, I think.
3 dories.
Yep, this one's the John Dory with that print right in the middle there.
Yep.
But a better eating fish you won't get, and a bigger appetite you won't get. Have a look in there. That's a live yellowtail. Just swallow that.
That was meant for a kingfish.
meant for a
actually,
kingfish
but, you know,
or a barcod or something else anyway, but
Yep.
that's just absolutely piled on it. Wow.
that's awesome. I've heard they're, well, they take quite a liking to live baits.
Yeah,
right?
definitely, 100%. You know, you could have a dead bait down there and a live bait, and they won't even touch it quite often, but they love a live bait, small live yellowtail especially. They're a big fan of those. So, mate, well done. That's a cracker.
I'm stoked with that.
Oh, 100%.
Thanks to Alfabs, it's cracking catch time. If you've been getting into some ripper fish lately, then send your best fish photo in via the Real Action socials. Cracking prizes to be won every week, including a Penn rod reel and line combo, an awesome pair of Mako polarised sunglasses, along with some great gear from Valvoline to keep your marine engine and trailer lubricated.
Well, I don't know what to say, mate. That is a magnificent John Dory. We've had a cracking day out here. Dolphins everywhere.
Yeah, I can't believe how many dolphins there were.
I think it was 4 F-35 fighters that buzzed us.
That was epic.
I hope they weren't pretending we were some sort of target. But that was insane. That was unbelievably good to see that. And to finish with a big John Dory. That's a really nice kingfish, couple of nanagai, and we knew there'd be some demersals down there somewhere. That is an absolute cracker, that one there. You've been watching Real Action. Michael Guest, the stowaway, Jack Nolan. What a way to finish the day. We've got a long run back that way. We'll catch you next time. Bye
See you
now.
guys.
Real Action is proudly brought to you by Amarok. Born from tough love. Look after your best mate with High Pro. Pioneers in pet food.